I don't know what you were doing. I gotta share out the tweets. So hold on, please. Act like we're talking to anybody. Ain't nobody on yet. Let's see. Your channel.
We got one.
To what?
Kind of forgot somebody on there.
It's probably my mom.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Hispanics.
I mean, yay. Hello. I don't know if it's my mom. I'm just assuming. Or it's my wife. We are live discussing Shut Up and Dribble. I mean, you said it. It's out there. I didn't copy you because I forgot. Is my drink right in the damn frame? It is.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we're not getting paid for that. Can you take it?
You ain't lying. Hell. All right, so let's go ahead and you want to go ahead and start off with Shut Up and Dribble?
No, man, I'm not ready for that.
We just consumed the information. It's hot. It's hot in your brain.
It is. I guess we can start off on that.
Because I don't have a whole lot to say about it because I don't really give a shit, but we're at podcasting. Please don't do that. Don't bring your bitchiness in here. We're podcasting.
That was a fake scene we've been working on. Crazy teenagers versus dad. Don't worry about that. If y'all ever see me live and I'm getting beat by a teenager, it is his daughter.
She's mean, dude. She's so mean. Your kids were like, they were trying to act like they didn't even see her. They were just like, what? No, I didn't see no white girl. Tell me I'm lying.
Unapproachable.
There was no women in there except for her, and they were like, we didn't see nobody. Nope. She's mean, dude. Like, I don't even know where she gets it from.
Now I kind of want to interview her. Like, what boy? Like, how did? I really want to know.
Yes, we're actually podcasting. You're interrupting.
Sorry, I just want to tell you something. I just told my friend that you're podcasting. She goes, "Dude, your dad does everything. He's like a dad of all dads."
I mean, it's kind of true.
Awesome. So, when I first met her, right, she had a guy friend. I wonder how he approached her. Like, how did he break that ice? Because that's some ice. Lord.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
The ex, the one out to the army.
Oh, what about him?
Yeah, I'm like, how did he break that ice?
To break up with her?
No, like to even talk to her.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. She's cold.
I think it was through wrestling.
Oh, okay.
I think
commonality.
Yeah, of like destruction.
Okay.
And meanness.
Because otherwise,
like
I don't see him going through the hallway like, hey.
How do you strike up a conversation with her?
That's what I'm saying. You see, I'll be like.
I got together with my wife in high school, and we used to fall asleep under the desk, and then I would just like inch towards her, and then one day she woke up, and I was like right there, but I tried to pretend like I was asleep, and that's how we started. But I didn't. That was a good move. But here's the thing I didn't think about: poop breath. You know, if you've been sleeping for a little bit or a hot minute, and you're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, ass!" That happened. I don't know if it was in my regard or hers. Maybe it was me bouncing off of her. I don't know. All right, so the NBA, we have a lot to talk about. Let me pull up my show notes. Sound like we're top notch professional. We have a lot to talk about in regards to 2A, gun violence, civil unrest, and all that. But we'll start off with Shut Up and Dribble. So the NBA announces that they are canceling. Is it today and tomorrow?
Game 5. I just said Game 5 postponed.
What sucks about that is I don't really give a shit about basketball anymore. I guess I never really did, but
I'm a basketball guy.
Obviously, that's like stating the obvious.
I guess the Bucks felt that they needed to sit out the game because of what's going on in Wisconsin. And now
Are they from Wisconsin?
Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, I had no idea. See, I don't watch it.
So now the
I've
NBA is saying that they're taking the Game 5 off.
across the board, right?
Across the board. It's playoffs right now.
So
all the games have been canceled.
I was getting ready since I've been seeing so much hype around the dude for the Mavericks.
Luka.
Yeah, I was like,
Great
all
White
right,
Hope.
I'm gonna watch a game just to see what everybody's talking about because I've only ever seen clips, and all the clips it doesn't really. He doesn't look. He just looks like a normal basketball player to me. Like, he doesn't seem.
Luka's the shit.
Well, I don't understand what I want to see what the hype's all about because to me it doesn't look any different than anybody else. But anyway, I was gonna watch that, but now I can't because they canceled the games. I'm assuming that
they played last night.
Oh, see, I didn't know.
See,
Jesus. Oh, that's whenever that guy was like bitch ass white boy or whatever he said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess back when, when all the color thing was going on, so to speak, a lot of people felt like, sports is supposed to take you away from all the bullshit. I really never gave credence to it. I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? But now I'm feeling like, okay, maybe I do kind of agree with that. Maybe I don't want my preferred sport to be all in on political things, social.
Because you want because it is a true escape.
It is an escape. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the jerseys are a little bit much. The court is a little bit much.
Where are the jerseys? What's wrong with the jerseys?
They got sayings on them like equality, no more, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, all the different things you see.
Yeah.
All the stuff you see on signs.
Yeah, stuff like that, right?
Jesus is coming.
And then it's like a big Black Lives Matter court.
All of them?
It's one court. They're playing in Orlando. So because it's playing in the bubble. But anyway, so I guess I am feeling understanding now. I get it.
That's weird. That's not weird, but it just seems like that wouldn't bother you so much, but it does. And it's just because does it remind you of everything that's going on? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, it's just like.
Or does it feel fake? Or does it feel forced?
We deal with that shit every day. I am feeling like I need an escape. I just want to see my LA Lakers win another championship. And I don't want to have to deal with.
Okay, hold on. Pause. You're one of those people. Do you watch baseball?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was about to make it get out. Hey, baseball's trash. But if you were a baseball fan, I feel like you'd be a Yankees fan. Just overly dominant for no goddamn reason. So you like the LA Lakers because they have all the money and they just do whatever they want?
I like the Lakers because Kobe is the GOAT. By far
my
favorite.
He's not there anymore, so
it don't matter. So the Lakers standard. So I'm a Laker fan. Period. I'm a Laker fan.
Who should you be a fan of though? Like technically, from Chicago, who's Bulls? You should be a Bulls fan.
I am a Bulls fan.
So you're both of those fans.
Yeah, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, Lakers fan, hands down. Ain't no changing that, no matter what. I do like other players though, of course. So
okay, from a fantasy standpoint, like fantasy basketball,
I don't play fantasy.
Well, I know, but I'm saying you just enjoy watching certain other players.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. Basketball, I always, in the playoff times, we'll catch a couple games, and it's always fun to watch. Then I forget. I just feel like they have too many fucking games. I get burned down on it so quick, like, especially early on in the season. It's like that with hockey, too. Like, I enjoy hockey a lot, but I get burned down on it super quick. There's probably white jokes right there. Of course he likes hockey. Fucking, can y'all hear us pretty good? I mean, I'm assuming you can, but I was going to make sure. We had the mics a little closer to us today because last time he was quiet, which is going to go into our next segment.
What do you say?
What?
Yeah, but
hold on. Empathize with the players. They're multi-millionaires.
You say you agree. No, you say you agree, but the constant reminder just feels like too much to me. Yeah, that's all it is. It's.
But I'm saying,
I 100% agree. That's exactly how I feel. It's like, come on.
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather see professional athletes or any entertainers for that matter. Would you call that a boycott? Or that's not even a boycott. It's just kind of like they're just taking a back.
Well, they call it an NBA boycott right now.
Okay, well, I feel like boycott's too strong, but even if we'll go with that. So if you take any entertainer that boycotts right now until things change or whatever, I feel like that's better, a much better solution that would probably help further change faster and more appropriately than rioting. right? Like I'd rather see entertainers do that as opposed to seeing people burn fucking cities down.
But that's not the players, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but the players are taking a step back to say, highlight, like, hey, this is still going on. What the fuck? Could we get some changes? That's better than seeing riots, you know. But at the same time, like, people need this shit right now, though, like for sure. Like, we need to go take a step back from, you know, like last night. I was telling you about. I got home. I worked a long ass day, and I don't have anywhere to put my drink right now, so it's going to be there. Apologize. I worked a really long day, and then
they're not sponsoring us, man.
they can't. There's no brand. You can't see that. It's a bang. Anyway, I had a long day at work. I got home, had to take one of the kiddos to the soccer practice, and then my dumbass decided to work out next to them on the soccer fields. I carried a barbell from the dang parking lot all the way. Look, it was a thing. So I was worn out. Got home, and after everything was, the family was all getting ready to calm down and everything, I decided to turn on the YouTubes, and I was going to see what podcasts were out there. And I came across, it was recommended to me. Mm-hmm. It was a live stream of the protest last night. And I was like, oh, I'll tune into that, see what's going on. And that got me hook, line, and sinker, boy. I ended up watching that damn live stream. It was protest that then slowly went into rioting, and then from rioting to murder. But I got caught into that for 4 hours. Like, just, it was, I will go into more of that later. I don't want to get too far off into that, but yeah, I got caught up in that. So my point is by the end of the night, once everything kind of came to a climax, I took a step back and I was like, man, I need to go watch some Happy Time stuff, you know, like in the night on, you know, like a stream of somebody playing Fall Guys. Cause I was just like, Jesus, that's heavy. Right. So in a lot of ways, what I was getting at is if you consume yourself all day with so everybody's stuck at home and whatnot, right? So people, or they're working on computers. Everybody's always got news and their social media feeds and all this chaos always coming across their feed. They need to be able to take a step back and have something to get their mind off all that. And so if they're being reminded of it, no matter where you go, whether it's in film, whether you listen to music now, there's a lot of that in there. You got, you know, obviously the NBA and stuff. It's like you can't get away from politics.
And that's what I'm saying. Be easy. I totally agree with you with that point. I mean, you got to think NBA is what, 70, probably 80, close to 80% black, and most of these folks come from not great environments. Let me say that. You know, humble beginnings, poor beginnings. You know what I'm saying? So I understand the concern. I understand how they identify with so many issues. I get it. I come from that. I come from the south side of Chicago. So I get it. But like I said, now it's starting to hit home and it's starting to feel like, you know what, maybe I just wanted to see the playoffs and just be the playoffs. You know, I don't want to have to deal with murder in playoffs. Talk about basketball. So I definitely get it.
How do you feel about seeing this stuff, political stuff, now being put in games? Like, I mean, games have always, entertainment's always going to have political stuff in it because, you know, life reflects art, art reflects life.
Well, it's bad enough they in the damn bubble, which I hate, but it's like, it kind of just, it's killing it for me. Like the jerseys is much. I don't care for them. Yeah,
well, you know, like Call of Duty had that black screen, the load screen that said Black Lives Matter.
I didn't even see that.
I wasn't playing it whenever that happened, but that happened. It was in between, somewhere in Warzone that would happen, like the loading screen.
I didn't even see that.
So had you seen that, what do you think? Does that bother you? I guess it depends because it's context. It was a few months ago.
Oh no!
It seems.
What that's so? No, Dallas. No, that's Houston. LP. We in Dallas. We North Texas.
We'll get a lot of rain. Now, here's the thing about the hurricane. Okay, aside from the destruction it could potentially cause, on a more, okay, look, I'm just gonna say it. I've been working on this deck, all right, and the way we had to leave off to go do another job and come back to it, that shit's gonna be all fucked up, and I'm not looking forward to trying to fix what that rain does. But yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, so that's southern. You got like they down there by the ocean, by the water, and everything like that. So they get that. We don't get that up here. We just probably we may get a tornado,
Don't say that.
but
You can't even say that. Like we might get a tornado.
That's
Like you've been
Oklahoma.
living here this whole time.
That's Oklahoma. I'm saying if
You are not a true Texan yet, sir.
I'm a
You
Texan.
have to be here for
Texan.
like at least how long you been here?
3.5.
3.5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to be here for 4 years before you're a true Texan.
Listen. It's North Texas.
You can't
Dallas.
you have a white friend from Texas. That doesn't work.
Okay. Sure. Anywho, North Texas, Dallas. We don't get that hurricane shit up this way. Like I said, if we get a tornado, it'd be coming from Oklahoma.
But we will get the what do they call that? I guess the hurricane will hit us, but it's not in the same way that's gonna hit them. Like we'll get high winds and
like
rain.
the aftershock stuff, the real light stuff.
I don't know if they call it aftershock. We are dumb as fuck. You realize that?
Hey, that's fine. You know, they know what we're talking about.
That's true. We have a bunch of dumb followers as well. Can you quit messing with your hat? Put it on like a normal person. Like see right here, right above the eyebrow line.
Nah.
Scary black man. Do it. It looks better.
No, see,
you look way better when you do it that way.
But you, sir, I'm trying to keep so they can see me. Because before they see, they can't.
See, it looks much better that way.
But still,
do it again. Look at that pure sexiness.
That's because you see the Hotep Nation. That's what it is.
No, it's the line with the beard and the whole. It just looks better that way. When you do this, you look like a goofball. Like I play video games.
I want people to see my face. That's all.
God,
not a problem. I meant to bring my light ring. That's what I should do.
You what? What shoes you got on today?
My Nikes.
I'm sorry, your sneakers.
My Nikes.
Dork. Okay, so we have so much to go on about. Let's see. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry. All right. So we over the last few months, typically he drives because my truck does not have AC because it's a man's truck. However, a poor man's truck. So it's been like 100 and some odd degrees, and so there ain't no room for that. And my truck is also known to be like typically the people that drive my truck would be what? If you had to put a people to it, like the way it looks.
It's like our street ride. The street, yeah, it's like a street truck.
Right, but who drives those? Typically, I mean, there's only one answer.
You tell me what's the answer.
Mexicans and black dudes like a lot too, but y'all don't really.
The lower ones like yours is.
Yeah,
white folks are Mexicans. Okay, whatever.
I'm not what. No. Anyway, so like when you drive around that, cops look at you a certain way. Plus, my shit's like you can't see in that motherfucker at all. It's got limo tint all the way around it, and even in places that you shouldn't have tint.
And it's kind of loud.
And it hits hard though, doesn't it? Walk it. So anyway, we don't drive that because we'll get shot or he'll get shot. So and I don't want to do that. What is happening?
That's from the shoulder presses stuff.
Oh. So anyway, we were always in his car, and so whenever he gets phone calls from incoming, I've noticed a trend. Show him your customer voice. Show him your customer voice.
What customer? What are you talking about?
He sounds like Michael Jackson.
So today we're gonna do.
What's that movie? Y'all know what black folks we got to put on our white.
That's not. See, you're
doing
doing
white voice when we talk to folks.
That's not true. Do your white voice.
See, I can't do it.
Yeah, you can. Do your white voice.
I can't do it now. I'm on the spot though. See, you got me nervous.
Mr. Yancey, police, white voice.
Sir,
we're Americans.
we are law-abiding citizens.
We did nothing wrong, sir. How can we help you?
See, you do. That's your white voice. That's not what you'd sound like. You just it's your normal voice, but really
easy. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Okay, I know what it is, but I'm saying that's not what he does. You're just real quiet with it. Like you just become very docile. Like you take all the testosterone that you have and squeeze it out into the floor. That's what it's like. Right. And so my observation, now see, look, everybody knows me as the poor guy with a lot of hair on his face. That is true. However, I have an extensive background with business, sales, marketing, and all that kind of stuff, and been professionally trained for many, many years. So my point was, I was trying to explain to him.
You see what Beezy said? My white voice got me through my career.
Yeah, right. But be easy. Where are you from? Answer that for me. And
Yeah, that's what it is, LP.
okay, so Louisville, Kentucky. Where the fuck is Kentucky?
You can say that's the South, really.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. To be honest with you. It sounds country as fuck.
It's Kentucky.
Kentucky. I live in
Exactly.
Kentucky.
Exactly.
Nambuku. I don't know. Anyway,
You consider it Midwest? You know what? It all depends on who. Because my guy Dominique from Kentucky, he swears it's South.
well, either way. So
Anyway.
when you're, especially in Texas, Texas is booming. They're always business savvy. They're always wheeling and dealing. It's always that way. So what I tried to explain to him was that when you're talking and communicating with a customer, you have to be loud and assertive and not aggressive, not like bombastic necessarily. It's more about conveying your confidence in yourself and your actions and or your whatever it is you're promoting. And that way they respect you. Look, I have nowhere to put it, woman. All right. God, where am I supposed to put it?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's right there. Fine.
Thank you.
So anyway, so I was trying to get him to speak up, enunciate better, and just stand like, okay, you can do it. All y'all can do this while you're at home. Sit down. Okay. All right. Slouch like you normally would. And then count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you just sit up and then you count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you stand up all the way, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it announces to everybody that you are here. Also, it's like I try to explain to you. When you walked into the gym or to the gym, you open the door, the sunlight comes in, everybody looks over, and there's see. You just stroll in, not like you own the place, because that would be rude. You walk in naturally like you're supposed to be here. You are a member here.
Correct.
And you're getting ready to do work.
Right.
Okay. So you claim that this is your area as well.
Correct.
You're not trying to say that it's yours, you own it. You're just saying, hey, I'm supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be here. Right. And so in the way you present yourself on here, the way you present yourself on Twitter is you have the utmost respect for your fellow men. You also have wit about you. You're very confident in your beliefs and you try to put out this good message and all that. That's who you are.
Uh-huh.
And you showcase that. That's why people are drawn to you.
Gotcha.
On the phone with customers, it's not that. It's almost like you're tired of doing this job. You hate this job. You don't want to talk about this job. But since you're calling, I guess I'll fucking talk about it.
That's his interpretation. My interpretation is that I put on my white voice. Right.
Because explain. We've already talked about this, so we're trying to like recreate this conversation. It was way better in the car. But
so basically, I'm from Chicago, moved to Minnesota, and unlike Texas, this is just a whole different type of environment up there with folks and business and everything like that. So that's where that comes from. That's where me toning down comes from. Otherwise, it's not a this is one of my companies and I enjoy the work. So it's not a confidence thing. It's not I'm bored or I'm not happy with the work. It's really just up there you learn to tone yourself down because you can't be black.
Right. So
that's the best way I can put it.
But the way I was trying to explain to him is that when you're in Texas and you're people want to do business with people that know their shit and that they have confidence in themselves and they're well respected amongst the community, which all those things you are, but you just don't portray it very well via the phone. Right. And I'm assuming you do in person, right? Yeah, just totally like you do with anybody else.
Yeah, totally different thing.
Because like when you met like my parents and all the people I've introduced you to, you've always carried yourself the same way. Right. You don't change for anybody.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if you did in the past, but that you don't do that now. And so I'm assuming that you're like that with your customers, which is a good thing. But on the phone, that's not how you are. So the idea is that like you look at
it became muscle memory. I mean, just like B said, it's muscle. It's like you're on the phone, hurt white voice. You know what I'm saying? But like it's crazy because like even when I'm in person and I meet these people, they get me, the person you're talking to right now, and I don't talk no different type of way. It's me. So it's kind of it's like muscle memory. You jump on the phone, you jump on your white voice. You're doing business.
The way I learned this was in a different light, obviously, but I started doing outside sales for this company, and we were selling 911 communications equipment and stuff. to law enforcement, fire departments, that sort of thing. Anything public safety related, school districts, that sort of thing. So when I was 18, going out there knocking on doors, I was trying to put on my professional voice. Hello, sir. How are you? I am here to provide you with some telecommunications equipment, right? And so this dope ass sheriff sat me. He was a communications director. He sat me down. And he goes, "Look, you are putting on a front. I know you don't know what you're talking about. I know you don't like what you're talking about. I know you're trying to do a job, and I know you want to do good, but you're putting on a front. And we are all trained professionally to see through bullshit. Stop bullshitting us. We understand that you're 18 years old. We understand that you're getting in trouble probably. He's like, he went through this whole thing. He's like, so let's try again. Just be you." And a whole weight came off my shoulders. And I started talking to this dude, cussing, and I talked just like him right now. And then that's when I started making good sales. I mean, hell, one of the very first sales I made was to the SWAT team here in this town that you're in. The SWAT team had pulled me over because the chief of police, I was in my Cobra, right? I was coming up on his driving real slow. And so I started to go around him, and he tried to gun it, not let me pass him. And I was like, "You're in a Dodge." So I just blew past him and got in front of him, right? Didn't think nothing of it, but then he called ahead, and I got pulled over by a shit ton of people. Yeah. So they pulled me over. Okay. So the very next week, so that was on the weekend, but so it was like a Saturday night. That Wednesday, the sales meeting I already had was with those very people. And so when I walked in the door, and had I not had that conversation with that guy prior, I would have handled that poorly and not made a sale. But I walked in there and made jokes about my mistakes that I made that past weekend. We all laughed, and then I sold them some radios. So I learned, don't hide who you are. But from what I gather though, up north, that shit don't work. Doesn't seem.
Yeah, I can't say just from personal experience. Just 3.5 years down here dealing with people. People down here prefer you to be as real as possible up front. That is true. But still, it's just it's 33 years, 32 years of being up north. It's kind of just like to get shit done, you can't be too black or urban. Is that the word? Urban.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah,
that's kind of like what you would say. People say blacks. Probably the same thing, right? Classify that the same thing. Because if you hear somebody saying urban, that seems really like
it means black.
Yeah, but like that's not. If you say urban about Austin, you're talking about white liberals. So it doesn't exactly apply, but urban sounds better. It reminds me of urban camo.
This guy.
Anyway, everything's about video games to me.
But yeah, that's what it was. It was good advice because I handled the next call pretty different. Because David gave me some advice. He was saying that, you should promote that true black business. I was like, nah, so I'm good. But he was right. So
you were about to go somewhere, didn't you?
We got an advertisement out there.
You forgot.
No, I didn't. We got an advertisement out there, and it has my face on it and everything. And that's a big push that I get a lot from black folks. And they're saying that, and they always share the business and saying, support black business, stuff like that. And honestly, at the end of the day, good people, the people that I do business with, that I talk to, that I befriend, good people don't give a shit that I'm black. So honestly,
because
they just want the service. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what the reason why that came about is because you started building the website, and then you showed it to me, and I said, "Why do you have all these white people on it?" And you thought I was being silly, and I wasn't. I was like, "Well, why aren't you promoting black business?
Yeah,
business owner, especially like we talk about grifting all the time.
Correct.
I don't even know if you can. I mean, technically it's a grift, but not really. Like, I mean, with today's times, that needs to be promoted. And if you consider yourself a conservative or a Republican or whatever, like you should back that as well. Like you should want to promote,
True enough, but I'm gonna say this: like even in school, with my degree, there's certain images that people just relaxes people. So David had asked me why we put a lot of white folks up there. It's like, well, sure, they just stock images, and it's like, you know what? You got to think of your audience and how when they turn to how they feel, etc., etc., etc. And so that's just like the neutral response. That's the majority. So you that's what you lean into because they teach you in marketing.
Oh, because the sheer numbers of population.
Pretty much.
I disagree with that because the reason why I disagree with that is, I mean, I understand the philosophy behind it, but if you have a niche and you do that niche better than everybody else, you'll make way more money.
Well, bouncing off, giving credit to what you said before and to what you said overall, and just me and my stance on how I feel anyway, I started thinking about it. Like, you know what? Yes, you're not giving your people enough credit anyway, or the world that you live in. You know what I'm saying? So it's great that to promote that I am a black business, and most of my customers look like me, and I help them folks out, and yeah, and so I mean he was right. I went that way. I went that route. Made them updates. Things is working out because at the end of the day, I love my people. I provide them a good service, and naturally, good people don't really give a shit,
Right.
especially if you do good work.
Yep, exactly. And so on the flip side, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could promote to the 3%ers, even though I don't have their same qualities. Like a 3%. And what I mean by, so everybody's like, wait, qualities with 3%ers. Pause. What I mean by that is most 3%ers, I assume, are rednecks and stuff. They go noodling. You'll never see me putting my hand in no damn hole underwater to catch a damn catfish. Out your goddamn mind. They also have redneck skills to fix stuff with duct tape. I can't do that. So I don't have all those qualities, but I kind of look like one. So I was like, what if my woodworking website was like made by, me for our people? You grift off those motherfuckers, Is that a good idea? Or is that a bad idea?
I don't know.
It's probably a bad idea.
Y'all are different.
I know. I want to grift.
There's not like no big camaraderie behind, like, because
it probably isn't. It probably isn't. That's not what media would tell you. There's white supremacists everywhere. Well, how do I capitalize on that? I will grift them motherfuckers, but I don't know how to do it because I don't think there's that many of them. That's a good way to test it, though, right?
I wouldn't test it in this climate. Lord, you would get canceled.
Yeah, but I have a black friend.
Still.
Yeah. We were talking about earlier because he got heartburn randomly. He was like, oh. And Presley goes, my daughter goes, what'd she say? You have a heart attack or something? And you go, no. And then how'd that come about? You like made a joke that you're going to die in my house?
Yeah.
And I don't want that smoke?
Yeah. So I was having heartburn because I ate some shitty ass food because I've been eating all day. I was having heartburn. I said, it'd be a bad idea if I was to die on your couch. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, black guy down in the White House. I was like, just think, it'd be protest. He'd be a white nationalist and everything. Yeah, they'll be found out where his parents live at. They live in the black city, the black town. It'll be all bad.
And then you said they go through our social media and see all our interactions.
Yeah,
and then like how your wife was like, I don't trust it. Are you going to be safe? Like all the very early stuff. Oh man! And then your wife would be like, yeah, for sure. This is what happened. I knew this would happen.
Do you see me on TV? Huh? It's my daughter's, y'all. You see Daddy on TV?
He's being super professional again. His daughter's adorable. He's gonna have problems with her when they get older.
Baby, Daddy's podcasting. Exciting. Okay, I'm gonna call you back. Watch Daddy on TV.
They froze. They hung up already. Yeah. So yeah, that was, you almost died.
Yeah.
I saved your life though. I offered you a Tums. All right, so now we can go into we're gonna slowly roll into the current events and the destruction and whatnot. But we'll start off with God, look at that. I'm balding so bad. Look, I mean it's parted, but God.
Did he say he's balding? Did he really say he's balding?
Yeah, you balded did real bad.
Yeah.
Do you have a divot? You kind of do. You have a peanut head.
You see, he just rubbed the black person's head.
I want to slap the shit out of your back of your head too, really bad.
Oh, this guy.
If every time you shave it clean, I just want to just
poor race etiquette.
By saying you have a peanut head, did you have a divot? You should feel the back of her head. She's got a football in the back of her head. It's ridiculous. All right, gun bunnies. I don't know if everybody's familiar with a gun bunny, but a gun bunny is women that are typically on Instagram, I guess, more so than anything. I guess they have YouTube channels too, but they wear scandally clad? Is that how you say it? Basically like Skyrim armor, which is basically nothing. And then they go out and shoot firearms, like, big Billy badass guns. And do you think that is good for the 2A movement and or gun industry? Or And how does that look for women in general? Are you pro gun bunnies or anti gun bunnies,
Well,
or somewhere in between?
Women can do whatever they want to.
Oh, you PC ass. Give me your real thoughts.
Oh, it don't bother me.
I don't. Okay.
What's the point? Sorry.
That's his woman. That's right. Answer the question.
I would start talking about this as soon as the women get out
Yeah,
here.
answer the question. What'd she say?
It's to grab. So when you're scrolling through your feed, and if you're into guns and you see a gun video, everybody's going to stop if you're into guns, right? It's no different than like in the gaming world. Like I'm into gaming, so if I'm scrolling and I see something that's about gaming, I'm going to pause for a second, take a look at it. If you have scantily clad women, is that? I'm not saying that right anymore.
Don't know. Finish. Go ahead.
All
Don't
right.
get lost in it.
Don't look. You're rushing. If they're wearing, I'm trying to, kids walking around waiting. When they're wearing basically nothing, most dudes are gonna be like, "Oh, we're definitely watching this," and they're gonna click on it.
Oh, sex sells.
Right, but how does that, as it pertains to women, that if there's actively trying to get more women to get involved with protecting themselves and whatnot, if all they ever see is that and they don't feel like that's them or they don't want to do that, or everyday moms like that, does that turn you off and make you not want to be a part of the gun culture if all you see is women wearing bikinis shooting guns? Or to me it seems like a deterrent in a way.
Man thing.
I know, but does it deter women away from getting involved?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know. It also seems cheap in a way. Like in my view, if there's a chick, and the one that Colin Noir did an interview with, I don't know if you watched it, but like when she's got like a sleeve, like wears normal clothes or whatever, I think that's badass. And then she has all the knowledge behind it. And so to me, that's more, I'd be more willing to watch that than I would just some broad wearing bikinis shooting guns. Like that just seems so out of place to me. It doesn't even make sense.
Well, Texas has a lot of gun girls anyway. If you do follow the Texas two-way gun movement, so to speak, there are a lot of gun girls, and a classic shot to catch eyes is when girls wear spandex, right? And they're actually in the prone position, and they're firing a rifle.
Right.
That recoil
makes
their whole body do a wave.
Right.
And so
see that to me is like,
and you don't see nothing but cheeks. You just see cheeks moving.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for that shot. And I'll be like, oh, shoot that rifle again. But
right, but would you be willing to stay around and hear her thoughts on the gun and all that?
If she's actually a gun girl, a gun woman, a person that's into two-way, which most of them are here.
I mean, I guess you could make the argument that there's the reverse side of that where the guys are shirtless and shooting guns and stuff too. I wonder how women look at that in the reverse side.
Pointless.
I mean, sometimes it's hot as shit out there sometimes though.
I feel like it's not necessary. What's the point? You're going to catch attention if you're just, if they have a bunch of good looking women out there doing it, why they have to be half naked.
I guess it's in certain ways, it's kind of like being all geared up in your Boogaloo Boy outfit for no damn reason.
Yeah.
Like you go to the range and then these dudes will be wearing full plate armor and shit for no goddamn reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to have time? Someone breaks in your house and put on all your gear?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Same thing.
I guess it's kind of because the guy will click on that because he thinks all the gear's cool looking.
Exactly.
So I guess it's kind of the same. I just think it's kind of it's in bad taste. I just think I don't know.
It's just it's marketing that's not meant for you, but it's attracting somebody.
Yeah, because I just like looking at cool ass guns anyway. So and typically those same women are shooting like the baddest guns you've ever seen because they got all the cool accessories and shit on them. So I
LP, I definitely know what that means now. It makes total sense after I actually switch my stance up and how I actually fight versus the gun, holding the gun down.
We're not going over your shitty fight stance again. We're not doing that.
First of all, it was just a stance. David, I'll murder you.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
With your Hellcat, you'll miss. For sure. Like right here, I'm safe.
No, that first shot is always on.
No, it's not. The first shot's the one that's always off. What are you talking about? You didn't even hit the damn thing.
No, that
you got your third shot was always when it was on.
Now it's the first.
It's off, and it does a circle thing, and you shoot it, you miss again. You're like, okay, now I got it. And then you third shot.
He's a Hellcat.
Well, I want one just because it seems like it'd be a lot of fun to figure out how to shoot the damn thing.
Exactly.
God, that gun sucks. Anyway, all right. So now we're now.
He didn't mean that Springfield.
It's true. The recoil is in a circle, and it doesn't make any sense. The other thing I want to talk about was in the same.
We did a thing on the range, LP. It was probably 2-3 episodes ago.
Yeah, it's on the channel.
Yeah, we shot my VR80. It's when I first got this one, this Hellcat. We shot that.
And your 308.
The 308
on the AR platform.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
And my Springfield Elite. We are supposedly going to be getting
some more.
We got some stuff coming up because we might have just got sponsored. So stay tuned.
And prepare yourself for the gear we'll be having too, man. Because look, that range stuff is fun, but now we actually are getting better, and we're getting certified while we're getting better.
That's true. So we can't make jokes much more about sucking because we're actually not going to suck much more. We won't suck much more.
Maybe we'll suck a little bit for video sake.
No, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to bust your ass. So now so you had the girl thing, right?
Oh, exactly.
And now we have what about the redneck side of the gun community, or the ghetto side? Which I didn't know that was a thing. I've never seen that, but apparently it is.
Is it?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I'm not going to pretend like I don't know what.
I've never seen I've seen the redneck stuff, but to me it's always been in the vein of humor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not. You can go actually find a bunch of crazy redneck stuff out there, but it's always like high octane, crazy. The way they'll go out and do shit at the range is always like, you'll shoot a refrigerator and it blows up. Like that's redneck stuff.
Gotcha.
I've never seen the ghetto side.
See, I don't like the word ghetto. Let's just say hood.
Well, that's what it's actually called though. According to Colin.
Well, I'm not gonna pretend like I ain't never seen it.
So is there other channels out there like that though?
I've never seen the channel.
I haven't either.
I mean, in person, yes. I've been involved.
Like the holding the gun sideways and all that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
See, I've never seen that promoted as a channel though.
Just having fun with it. But I've never seen a channel.
See,
I'm gonna have to look for it.
I don't think
channel. If somebody out there did a channel on it, I think that'd be pretty dope.
It'd be kind of smart, but I don't know. I've never seen it. So in the same way that rednecks are the ones, at least the ones I've seen, they're always entertaining as shit.
Yeah.
But they were talking
Poor
about
gun etiquette for, I would say, both sides, but either way.
That's kind of what I was getting. It seems like based on the podcast I watched talking about these things, they were saying it's all good for the gun community as long as they're practicing good gun safety.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they aren't.
Right.
And so that's where it gets really bad. And I was just curious what you thought on that topic. But like me, you didn't know that there's a ghetto stuff. I didn't either. I've just never seen it. I didn't know it was a thing. But apparently it's out there because they were talking about it. They knew a specific channels. I've never seen.
That's pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. I'm with it.
Yeah, I don't even know what that would consist of though.
Maybe when we train with Tactical Carl, we can be you could be redneck, I could be ghetto.
Don't be airing out some of our stuff coming up.
What? That way they know. Hey, yeah. Soon we will be down towards Houston. Hopefully we don't want to be swimming.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm not trying to do no damn underwater.
Yeah, we're trying to go down there and train with Tactical Carl.
And if y'all don't know who Tactical Carl is, I am nervous as hell. This man is scary. Like he screams at you and shit the whole time. Like, no, you're not. Boom! I've seen
Tactical Carl.
I've seen you at the range. You are like me. We both get kind of like, and then he's going to be yelling at us, so it's going to be terrible. We are going to look so bad.
That's because these people can kill us.
He's going to make us leave.
Nah, I ain't leaving.
He's going to like, go. Y'all are done.
We out here.
Oh, it's terrifying. Anyway, you set that up, and that video is going to be hilarious though, because that'll be fun.
Tactical Carl is intense. We usually train with a guy very even kill,
sort of
in a way, but Tactical Carl is a different breed.
he's just high energy. Yeah, he's like Tim Kennedy, but like he's even probably more amped up than he is.
Yeah, because I had hit him up. I was like, me and my wife would come down from before work, take your class or whatever. So he hit me back. So man, hopefully, I'll make that happen.
I listed out exercise and gun training, but I, for the life of me, can't remember why I put that down as a topic, and I don't know what to say about it. So, moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that everybody's seeing all these riots and everything, the city of Austin is hosting a Second Amendment march,
September 26th.
which is like, and just in case y'all don't know, Austin is like a breeding ground for the Antifa types / Black Lives Matter white liberals. Do you think it's worth it to go to this march and open carry ARs and the whole bit, wear your boogaloo outfits to what showcase? Yeah, it's my right to carry guns. And,
It's the Second Amendment. Man.
right. But with everything going on, do you think that's worth it?
Be easy. Let me see if you can see that.
You acting like he's gonna respond.
Hey, you just never know. I just wanted him to see it.
So y'all don't see an issue. So for sure, there will be anti-gun people there protesting.
So it's a Second Amendment unity walk. It's in Austin, Texas, September 26th. It started at noon or whatever. So it's hosted by the Black Collective.
It is a black thing.
And
You told me it wasn't.
And the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Central Texas Gun Club.
You were trying to make me the
Second Amendment Unity Walk. Just because it's hosted by the Black Collective don't mean that.
It means that you were trying to make me the token white guy.
No, I was not. Because it's Austin, first of all. So it's white folks that's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. It's about the Second Amendment. And it's called the Unity Walk.
Fair. Either way, I feel like with everything going on right now, this is the worst time to go do that.
And I told him, because every time so a little bit of transparency here, y'all.
My mom just said I can't go.
A little bit of transparency. Y'all know, everybody know what the NFAC is, right? So I was part of the Texas chapter.
Hold on, pause. My wife also just said I can't go. Now I feel like I have to go.
Gotcha. So excuse me, I was going to get sworn in for the Texas chapter. But the NFAC is having some issues or whatever. So the Texas chapter broke off from that, and we're more localized, and we're worried about the things that's here in Texas and about the community and safety and stuff like that. So it's in a negative turned into a great positive as far as Texas goes. Anyway, that's what David's concern for me started at because of that. So he was saying that, if I go to Austin, will it be the same thing and stuff like that? I told him, you can't just keep sitting on the sidelines. It's one thing for me to say these things on Twitter and talk about it personally, and you do nothing at all, but just sit and just do nothing. There's no point. So it's like sometimes you have to. It takes strong people, and it takes people doing things to make change. What I would like the world to see, what I would like the society to understand is, yes, black folks own guns, and all of us ain't out here being irresponsible with firearms either. So that needs to be a norm. Just like the situation from last night in Wisconsin. If there was a black guy in that situation, would the world see that in a different light? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, until folks need to keep seeing black folks with guns and using them responsibly, standing for your rights, knowing your constitution and the rights that govern you, so this becomes a norm. And so I'm taking the chance to go in. Of course, I'm gonna read the room. If there's a lot of bullshit going on down there, of course I'm not for to stay in that type of environment. But for things to change, people need to change them. You can't just sit on your ass, and I can't do that because I have kids. You've met my children, 18, 15, 11. They would carry firearms and everything like that. So it's like stand for something to fall for anything.
Yeah, I get all that, but also you have a family, which should be and is your number one.
Mm-hmm.
So going out there is not helping number one.
But I'm not going to a war zone.
It could be.
It's a gun rally.
That place is boarded up and looks like it's been through war.
It's a gun rally. You see what LP said? He was part of the Virginia one. Way bigger, way more. They had way more political shit on their end.
You're going to Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, where
He
there's
was in Virginia.
bum piss in the rivers.
Have you ever been to Virginia?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, that's where all the racist people are, huh?
Just
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like here's the thing. On a side note, this goes to everybody. If you're going out there and you're walking around open carry with your dope ass ARs that I don't have that I want, I feel like they're always too mean looking. They're always like. I feel like if you're going to do that, you should be more happy. Because if you looked happy, it doesn't make it look so menacing.
so now
There's no reason to be menacing.
So we look like the Joker. We out here.
No, not like crazy. Not like you want to kill somebody. Like, hey, we're out here having a good time because guns can be fun. You know,
but here's the thing: if you're around fire, and this is a gun rally, anybody that's been around firearms, you know, this is just we just having regular conversations.
Right.
It ain't no difference in if I had that same drink in my hand. It's the same energy.
Okay, but no. When you and I are at the gun range, are we mean mugging each other the whole time? Or are we having fun?
We having fun.
Okay,
but
I'm saying take that same energy.
Have you been to a gun rally?
No,
it's just that.
Oh, all the okay.
It's just people. It's literally people hanging out.
Right. But I've only seen it in the context of like recently, where everybody's like marching and they're all mean looking.
That's what I'm saying. Nah,
that's not that to me is a bad look.
That's why I said it's a unity walk.
So everybody's gonna be happy. You're gonna get dehydrated.
I'm drinking water.
Mm.
So yeah, I just need folks to understand, like, you know,
you
got to fight for change.
Your hamstring's gonna cramp up on you, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, it is. You're gonna remember Madden back in the day when you'd be running and he's like start doing like this, holding the back of his leg. That's gonna be you.
Right, easy for sure.
See, look, everybody's on your side. What is? You see how political y'all are? You're trying to divide. Y'all should be on my side because I'm right.
These are gun people.
I'm a gun person, sort of.
But you have limitations to your.
I just don't have an AR, so I can't play. That's big. That's basically what it boils down to. I can't go because you can't go to that just by having a sidearm.
What I was thinking, I'm like, maybe David just ain't got nothing he wants to fight for right now. So he finds it's easy for him to say what not to fight for.
No. Fight for your family.
Which I do.
Right, but a march in Austin is not fighting for your family.
But it's fighting for my overall group, though, which is my family.
That's what the NBA was doing.
And see, the way they fight may be irritating.
Gotcha.
The way they fight may be irritating to me, but to them it makes sense.
Yeah, you just lost.
See?
I won that. I had a better point. And you know it. I got you with that one.
No, but I'm
just
saying,
admit it.
I'm saying I have to learn how to respect people, how they fight, and they fight differently. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you can go, but here's a condition.
And it's like if I'm building a two-way platform and I'm seriously about this Second Amendment thing, why wouldn't I go to a gun rally? Why wouldn't I be seen at a gun rally? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I promote those type of things?
Are you gonna wear your Hotep hat?
Yes.
It's gonna be stained with sweat.
Nah.
You have to get a new one. Nah. You should get a trucker one so it breathes better.
I don't think he got those yet.
Well, he sucks. We need to get our own hats, which is coming up.
What kind of lawyer you gonna get, LP? I keep telling him look, David is a stubborn man. I told him,
I'm not the only one.
I said, man, you should. I said, you know what? You should start like a GoFundMe or some type of thing. I said the gun community will support you in building you an AR-15. You can do it anywhere from the cheapest of $600, and it can go up from there. Right?
I like how your price always changes. It started off at $400, now we're at $600.
Well, you can buy one. Honestly, like one really, really cheap in about $4.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, he would just refuse to do it. I say build one because building one is funner and it saves you some money and you actually know what your weapon is.
More fun.
So I totally agree.
Next subject.
That might be a good build, man. I will put more money into my next trigger. The trigger and the upper receiver. I want a BMG upper receiver, but I just can't find them right now.
I don't know anything about ARs. I have nothing to contribute to. I just know they're neat looking. You can start a GoFundMe, but it has to be for what's it called? The honey badger.
See, and then he's trying to go all the way in. That's $3,200.
That thing is so wicked cool.
It's-
I just think that gun is so wicked looking. Anyway, all right. So let's start off with his name is Jacob, the one that was shot.
like in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we first saw the first 15 seconds, everybody immediately jumps on his side, either cop's side or his side. I tried to look at it objectively, as I always do, and I felt like he was continually not listening and went around the car, got in the door, which at that point the outcome. But at the same time, I felt like the cops knew what was happening and knew the outcome, like you were saying earlier, and so they should have prevented that from taking place altogether. And so I ultimately put it 70% cops' fault, 30% his, until we got more information, and you said you were at 50-50, right?
Yeah, I'm at 50-50, period.
So now we get more information because originally he was breaking up a fight between two girls or two women, and then he called the cops. Cops got there, and then he was just trying to leave the scene because he did his part, and then he got shot. That was what the narrative, at least from what I saw on Twitter. But based on the actual 911 call, one of the women called the cops, said that he stole her keys. I don't know if it was to that van or not. I don't know. He had a knife on him, which you can kind of see in the footage. It's like a curved blade. I don't know. The cops tased him. It didn't work, which I didn't know. That's a crazy thing. Sometimes tasers don't work. They don't fire, or it doesn't hurt people. Like some people's bodies just don't react to
some
it.
People just move. It don't work.
Which is crazy. You should let me tase you to find out if you're taseable.
No, sir.
It's a good thing to know.
I got a family to worry about.
That's fair.
See,
you could tase me then.
Oh,
Find out if I'm taseable.
I'm with it.
I'm pretty sure I'm taseable though.
We gotta get a taser.
Yeah.
I'm gonna light your ass up.
Ooh, don't get the kind of prongs though. That shit sucks. Either way, so the story is getting drastically different, and he had an open warrant. They knew that going into it, and I can't remember what all the charges were, but it was 3 charges. The last one being 3rd-degree sexual assault, which is basically rape on a 15-year-old. And at that point, like, okay, I understand due process and all that, but assuming he actually did that, fuck him. Straight up, like fuck him. I don't care. That doesn't. I'm not saying what happened to him, whatever. I'm just saying in general, fuck him. If that's actually true. But again, due process and all that. I don't know. I just feel like the media immediately jumped on this and then caused even more divide and tried to make it about race and all that, which maybe it is. I don't know. It just seems like everybody jumped to conclusions before we knew anything outside of a 15-second clip. And then you know what I'm saying? Like, where are you at with this? I already know where you're at with this, but voice your opinion live.
I'm 50-50 on who's responsible.
Even after knowing all the information?
Well, see, his open case ain't information I really, in the instance of his situation that got him shot, it don't mean anything to me. So that's 2 separate things.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the way it should be.
So the situation that he was in, that got him shot. All right. Given what everybody knows about police officers and how they handle things, he should have known. He should have known. You can't get up, have what they believe is a weapon, because in the video it said that he didn't say drop the knife.
He did say that?
That's in the video. You hear him say drop the knife.
I never listened to it.
Right?
I can't.
Okay, and he walks around in front of the vehicle and opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, even watching this, which I hate, I watched it, is this dude wants to get shot. From what we know, from what we've seen, that's what's going to happen, right? And so, I was mad at him because we were going to keep accountability at the forefront here. Accountability. I was upset with him and his actions with that he did that, because I'm like, now we finna watch a man be murdered on camera, and we got to keep it. And we finna see this on repeat. And then I was upset at the officers for letting him walk around the vehicle and open the door, right? So This man, it's like both parties knew the outcome of what was going to happen, and both parties did not stop the outcomes. They didn't try to avoid the outcome. And I looked at it like if the police officers were really in fear for their life, when he opened the door, you got very close to this man because you grabbed his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in my mind, that says maybe you didn't really fear for your life at that point. Because we talking about a knife. A knife is always loaded. He could have easily turned, and now you're stuck.
Well,
You
just like Cecil taught us, if you have, you always hear you don't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's not true. In reality, within proximity of the two people in the altercation, if they're within, I can't remember, it was like 10 feet, whatever he said. If you have a knife, the knife person almost always wins.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
the knife is always loaded. So you couldn't have felt that much fear in your life that you actually ran up on him and grabbed his shirt. So I hate it. It's accountability on both parts. That's why I say it's a 50-50 thing. Because he should have known. I'm pretty sure everybody known. The people watching it, if you hear him in the background, we all knew what was going to happen. So the accountability is on both parts. It was so many options that could have. It was so many other options.
right.
But neither party avoided the tragedy.
They made it into a binary when it didn't have to be.
And then I understood that people say, man, he shot him 7 times. And from what we've been taught, just training with the ex-Marine, here's the thing: the moment you stop and then you start again, it becomes illegal. Now that's a felony. So that's why police officers always keep shooting.
Yeah, they're trained that way.
And it's like, was it to us? Is it overkill? Yes, but for them, it's a law thing, and it's muscle memory for them because they train to shoot in groups. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's 3, 5, 7, or whatever, they train to shoot that way. And I'm not making excuses for it.
It's also because of the calibers. They typically they carry 9mm, and so 9mm doesn't have the stopping power of like a 40 cal or a 45. And so if you shoot somebody, especially when there's adrenaline going and stuff, they a lot of the times can just keep on fighting through it because their body doesn't recognize that it's been shot yet, right? Something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I know he didn't die of it. I'm just saying when in them situations, we already knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Thank God he be able to with 7 shots to the back. Of course, and that's another thing. Police are trained to do what does he call? What does Cecil call this? To kill what? He called it something.
Dang, we suck at this.
They're trained to shoot down the middle.
Basically, the chakras.
They train to shoot down the middle. That's why people end up dead or paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's some kill shots, the kill zone. And it is.
Is it kill zone?
I think it's something like that.
Something like that.
But it's unfortunate, and I hate it happening. It could have been seriously avoided.
Well,
I wish they would have took their batons out and beat the hell out of him. And I say that because he wouldn't be paralyzed. His children wouldn't be as traumatized because it's like if his children were in their vehicle, they got an up close view of their father getting shot 7 times.
Right.
That's psychological.
Oh, that's the worst part of the entire scenario was what happened to those kids.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down. The other thing that I saw on Twitter immediately after that video release was compare and contrast with other incidences. I can't speak to
incidents.
There you go. Where the one that I saw the most was there's a white lady cop backing away, gun drawn, on like a 6'4", 300-pound white dude, and they're like circling the SUV, and he's like actively going after her. I don't know if he had a weapon or not, but they're like, see what happens here. She's not shooting him, and I think it's always kind of somewhat silly to compare different officers with different situations in different counties and different states to another. Like it's not apples to apples, but nonetheless, it's used a lot. And in that scenario, I felt like had the cops done something more like what she did, where they just had guns drawn and they circled him and tried to contain him until backup got there to help him out, maybe that situation could have gone a little easier. I don't know if it had to go to that force. Like basically the cops lost handle of the situation because at one point they tackled him. They were actually fighting behind the car. Like there's other angles now where you see them fighting. And he's like on the ground and the 2 cops are on top of him. And so he gets out and starts walking away. That is straight up like they just don't know they don't know combat. They don't know jiu-jitsu, which is, again, going back to what Andrew Yang said, every officer should be trained up to a purple belt because then one officer could restrain somebody, like, because you know how to use your own body and manipulate theirs. that. So a lot of it again comes down to training, but yeah, it's unfortunate, and then of course because you have the whole warrant thing out there, which I know why you don't take that into consideration, but I have one of the few hills I'll die on is whenever it's rape and shit like that when it comes, especially when it comes to kids and stuff. So I'm staying true to that one hill of mine where if in fact he did do that, I have to go fuck him. Honestly, that's just where I'm at. And I know you agree with that to a degree, but you're also seeing it. You're also viewing this whole thing, or you're feeling this whole thing rather, from a different standpoint than I am.
Yeah,
because you have to, and for me to say that I understand that is just be dishonest. So
yeah, because what I hate when people do, man, I don't talk about black bodies, black death, black none of that. For the simple fact, everybody treated like a class assignment. If you've never held a person, a human, especially a human that looks like you, and they're dying or they're dead, and they die in your arms, and you're holding these people, you won't approach these shootings, whether it's by police or just by anybody.
right.
You want to approach it for clout. You want to approach it like it's a class assignment. You won't want to sit here and discuss about it and debate and all this other stuff. And that's what I do not do at all, because it's like, you know what? If you've never been in that situation, you really can't fathom what it actually does to you. That's why my first thought was the children, about the psychological, the mental effects of what just happened in that moment. If you've never been in a situation where gunfire is present and it's not done in a happy way, like we're all training and we're having this good time, and it's actually a life or death situation, it's very traumatic, and it's not something you kind of just get over. It's not something that you can just go. You go out to eat like, man, that was fun, and you want to talk about it, because that's not what happens. And people talk about it and they discuss it so callously, because everybody's so desensitized from it at this point, because it's like a movie to them. It's a movie to them because they never really had to deal with it, or they never dealt with it in person, for real, to see the damage that this stuff causes. I ain't talking about just the physical damage of what it does. So it's just a different perspective of how I feel it versus what everybody else will get on and have an opinion about it. So don't need to get too serious, too down.
Well, it's about to get worse. So
okay.
Yeah. So that whole incident, right? And I think a lot of it has to do with, just the political narrative of everything going on right now compounds. And then now you have another riot breakout. And there's all kinds of buildings burning, businesses and all that sort of thing for the first night. And then this was last night, the second or third night.
I think that last night was the third night.
Right. So, and I already kind of explained how I started watching it. And then, so whenever all that came to a climax and that kid ended up shooting 3 people, it was really hard to wrap my brain around what was happening, because when the stream I was watching was switching between 4 different reporters on YouTube. And
mind you, this is after he 4 hours in.
Yeah.
Of watching it like it's made for TV.
Right. Yeah. I was watching like it was a damn Netflix series. And I was having fun with it, because in the beginning it was hilarious, because whenever I hate saying protesters, because it seems like, I guess at that point it still was a protest, but semi-righty, whenever they were throwing shit at the cops from behind the fence, there was this, like, the situation started getting pretty rough. And there was a cop on a loudspeaker of some sort, and chaos is starting to erupt, right? And this one dude walks up, and the whole time there's like fireworks being thrown back there. They're shooting out smoke grenades. There's like pepper pellets, or whatever the fuck they call them.
Pepper spray?
No, they're shooting paintball guns, but they're pepper balls.
Okay.
Right. So there's like literal chaos, and there's the armored vehicles are coming in from all directions and like parking in front of the fence to get ready to do not an assault, but like move the line back. They're getting ready to move the line back, and this whole time, all this chaos is erupting. There's this officer in the background, just as calm as can be, and he's using like the language that the language he's using is as if he was at Target, being the announcer at Target, like We have a sale on aisle 4 for baby wipes. Like it was the most. It's like he did not read the room at all. Like it's almost as if he was giving narrative to like the most boring football game you've ever seen. Like it made no sense. And at one point, this dude walks up and he goes, "Sir, in the gray shirt, please remove yourself from the fence. The best way to handle your what do you say? What do you call it? If you're upset with us, the best way to handle it is by contacting your governor." Like he literally said that, and he started leading up to giving the guy his actual email address over the mega. Like while there's chaos erupting, I was dying. Like, what is this man talking about? And then they ended up shooting this guy right with the pepper balls, and this dude gets hit in the chest. Like I don't even know. Dude, he got lit up.
And it was a good time.
It was hilarious. Anyway, so he gets lit up, and then so now all that pepper shit's in his face. So he's like stumbling back and like trying to like collect himself from getting hit with the pepper balls. This man on the megaphone said, "Sir, you're drunk. Go home." Because the way he was walking away, he looked drunk. I was like, "Oh my Jesus Christ, what is happening?"
I mean, would you want him to panic in that situation?
No, but like it was just he could have had some. I don't know. His cadence could have been a little different. Like it just he was so like dry eyes. Like she was hilarious. Anyway, so I was enjoying the hell out of it, and then I was just finding it. A lot of what was going on funny. I just a bunch of people with stupid shields that weren't doing it. Like one person had a cardboard shield, and they shot at him with one of the pepper balls. That shit bent and hit him right in the face. Like I was dying. Like I thought that shit was hilarious. And then it got serious. And then when it got serious, it changed everything. It was like once you started seeing the actual death, where the cameraman runs up on the guy that got shot in the head. Oh man, it was rough. And then I felt not like I felt bad. It was just it made everything real, and it made me reflect back on the whole night. And I was just like, oh shit, this is not all fun and games. This is like it's now real life, and now there's dire consequences outside of the economic collapse of that city now. Aside from that, but yeah, it was nuts. I mean, it was absolutely insane. And anyway, so when that kid goes out and starts and he gets shot and all that, from the footage I saw, and this is prior to knowing all the information we know now, it seemed like he was, I wouldn't say in the right, but like he was almost defending himself is what it appeared like. I mean, the first one that was the weirdest one was when he shot the guy in the head because you couldn't really make heads or tails what was happening. What we know now is he was being chased by 3 or 4 people. The guy that got shot in the head, he threw a brick at him. There's 3 different angles of it now that you can see. And some news organizations, more fake news, I would argue, are saying it was a Molotov because it kind of looks like it in one of the videos. But from the side angle, you can tell it's a brick. It's not a Molotov, right? So he turns around, the guy's saying, "Fuck you," and he throws a brick, and then that dude turns around and shoots him. Okay. So I don't know if and he was running away, but I don't know if that's considered self-defense by law. But
see,
you can make an argument about it.
This is where it's getting complicated. Is he's not from there?
Well, I was going to get to that. Yeah.
He's from Illinois.
Right.
He's 17.
Right.
With a rifle. You know what I'm saying?
That he's not allowed to own.
So now it just comes off like you just there to agitate. You know what I'm saying? You're not there for no reason. Obviously, you're not with nobody, so you're just a lone ranger.
Wait, hold on, pause. You say throwing a brick is not equivalent. You do realize a brick to the head can kill you, right? So if you're in fear for your life, the law says you can defend yourself. So in regards to that,
right,
it is the same.
Line.
Yeah. So so that part happened, right? And then he's running away. I guess the reports are saying that he was trying to find the cops at that point to let them, because he went back and checked on them, and he was the one that called the cops after he shot him.
Yeah, it was a video. You can see him in the video.
Right.
He shoots. He goes around the car, and he come back and he checking on dude. And the other dude, I think he's actually a reporter of some news. He was, that's who the dude that's got for shirt. And then you can see the dude that shot him. He jump on the phone, and so. That was that, but then he got on up out of there, and as he's running down the street,
he got.
Now I look at it like this: the second altercation, you can, it can be argued. It's arguable as far as his self-defense. That's self-defense.
I mean, he got hit. He was getting hit with skateboards and everything else.
That's self-defense. That first one, I'm not sure, but here, like I said, at the end of the day, if you have firearms, you know what I'm saying, it's about knowing the laws that govern you. He's 17. He's from out of state, so it looks like you were just there to agitate. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you have no business being there in the first place.
Or even having the gun.
So it's like all that X is out at this point.
I guess. I don't know. I mean,
So they talking. They didn't charge this young man with murder.
two
Yeah.
first degree murders.
Yeah, and they extraditing him back to Illinois, extradition. So, and he's a minor. And they gonna charge him as an adult.
So
That's what's being reported.
I don't know. I don't even know if it's clear that he was an agitator. I mean, I don't know if it's fair to say that. Maybe
If you from out of state,
is that considered agitator? I guess.
yes, because at that point you're not supposed to be there.
Right. But couldn't you make that same argument if you go like several towns over for a protest?
You in the same area. I mean, you in the same state. They can't get you with that.
But how's that any different though? It still takes you 3 hours to get there.
But they can't get you with that. You cross state lines. First of all,
Well,
you
yeah, I know
cross state
that.
lines with a weapon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you could just know somebody on the other side of town. It's like he didn't went to a whole. It's been riots and looting for 2 days, so he know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you didn't went out there over there, so it's like stop. You know, it looks bad for him. Period.
The other narrative that was going on was there's already a bunch of memes on it too, but the medic that got shot in his arm, basically they had to amputate his arm. I think everybody's probably seen that footage and or photo now. He had a gun in his hand. A lot of people were saying, or a lot of people were reporting that he actually was getting ready to shoot him, and then that kid shot him first. But when you and I watched the video back, it looks like he had the gun out as like he might have to use it, but he was running towards him because I think he didn't realize who was who, and because that kid was he was shooting from the ground. So he was running in to see who needs help. He gets up there and realizes the kid with the gun is on the ground. He turns and starts going right to the guy that got shot in the chest to go render aid is what it looks like. And his arm was out because he was running, and it shot him like here, like this. That's what it looked like to us. And so
did he get amputated for real?
that's what they said, yeah. So they said he lost his arm. So you're seeing a bunch of people saying that guy got what he deserved because he was trying to shoot to hit the kid, and I don't think that's actually what the video shows at all, really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the kid or anything. I'm just trying to talk about what happened and how does it work in the court, in the courts. I just don't know the legalities of it all. Obviously, I'm a dum-dum, but I was just the whole thing is wild. And some are saying it could have been prevented had the state taken control of all this prior, but who knows? This is going to tie into the next portion. So with all the riots and whatnot going on, the civil unrest, do you put more of the blame on Trump or Democrats in general? Because depending on what side you're on, everybody's like, oh, this is Trump's fault. This is Trump's America. But all the chaos is being started by people that oppose Trump. So it's not Trump supporters doing all this, right? It's the opposing side. So how do you weigh it?
I look at it like I'm not, when it comes to stuff like this,
Just in general.
I don't put the onus on any political party or anyone, to be honest. Chaos is contagious. Shit hits the fan and anarchy is out. That shit is contagious.
I mean, obviously COVID's making everything so much worse because people are out of work and whatnot. So we've been kind of sitting on powder kegs for a little bit here. Now people can place the blame wherever they want to place the blame. For me personally, like I said, I just think it's a personal choice if you want to be out there. And what is your purpose for being out there? Do you just want to start shit? Do you just like chaos? Some people just like chaos, man. People come on now. You just want to be in a situation where you can set shit on fire, you can burn shit, you can fight, and that shit is contagious. People like that, and people just don't want to tell the truth that they like that. So be easy said Obama's an officer in Ferguson. So right. So is that, what does that mean? Are you saying that that's proving that it's the Democrats, or are you saying that it is? I don't know. I mean, because that's what the narrative is right now. It's either, do you view this as Trump's fault, or do you view this as the Democratic city's fault? I don't know. I mean, where do you put more of the blame?
So look how they're putting it.
teen charged with first-degree homicide after shooting 3 protesters with AR-15 was obsessed with Blue Lives Matter and appeared on edge before shots rang out. There was a few. There was actually a few. They were calling themselves libertarians. All the guys carrying guns. There was a couple of them that looked on edge, like real bad. I remember telling my wife, I was like, man, this is not going to end well. Some of these people they're not in the right headspace to be out there with firearms because they were just going ape shit. And the way they were talking, it just didn't. You can tell, you can sense it. You can sense the shit was about to go down even before all that happened. That was like 2 hours prior. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at 17, man, you can't. That's a lot of responsibility to be out there like that. That's just ludicrous to be out there in the first place. But so yeah, I don't know. But as far as I feel like more blame has to be put on the left than the president. I mean, I know that he's divisive, and I know I know all the problems with him, but ultimately, these people are the ones going out and causing havoc, right? I mean, so
you could say both sides have stoked the fire.
I mean, obviously, from the media standpoint,
you know what I'm saying? But to say like who's worse, I don't think so. Because at the point, like I said, I'm big on accountability, right? I'm big on accountability. These idiots in office, whether left or right, they can say whatever they want. They can stoke whatever fires what they want, but it's up to you about what you're doing out there and what causes you fighting out there. It's like me going out down there to Austin. You know, same flavor. That's a personal choice, regardless of what's going on in the country, regardless of if it's left or right. You know, it's my personal choice to go down there. And people have to rein in their emotions with these shootings. At the conspiracy theorists in me say it's starting to think that it's a little bit staged, and it's like, come on, man, like it's happening too periodic. It's like dominoes falling. At this point, can we say at the same time next month another one gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't want to. I think putting it on the left or the right is kind of a cop out.
Well,
I think people just like anarchy.
Well, part of it though is like, Don Lemon took a really weird stance last night. He was saying, based on all the polls, more people are in favor of Trump now, and so now you're starting to see all these pundits coming out saying we need to stop the riots because it's working in his favor. So I'm curious to see how that pans out, and if you start seeing the atmosphere calm down because they're afraid that he'll get reelected because of it. I don't know. There is a portion of this that's organized because when you were watching the stream last night, there was a chick running around telling people what to do, where to go next. She called out the post office, and then she said, "From there, we're going to go somewhere else." And like they kept referring to her as the organizer. So there is definitely some planning going on in all this. I don't think anybody denies that. And there's also provocateurs that are going out to these places too. The left will say it's white supremacist provocateurs, and then the right saying it's commie Black Lives Matter people. I don't know. It's very confusing, and everything is everything is so politically charged too. Like I follow a CNN reporter, and the way he would title his videos that they captured were so fucking aggressive, and not like he was like, and here in this video you'll see a tank ramming through peaceful protesters. You watch the clip; it's an armored vehicle. Like they basically just took their foot off the throttle and it's just creeping along, and protesters are like throwing rocks at it, but there's nobody really in front of it. Like it's like, what? Why'd you act like you just described a war zone, which is not what's going on. Like it's just to get people riled up on purpose. Like, so to me, the media should take all the blame. Like I just think that's fucking ludicrous. Like I can't believe, like even Joe Biden running on the whole platform of the Fine People hoax. Like everybody's by this point knows that never happened. He never said the things that the media says he said. So
I think people should be in, especially media, politicians. They seize the moment. They're being dickheads. That's how I look at it. Excuse my language. I know Mr. and Mr. Maddox probably watching this. Yeah, I think David is rubbing off on this terrible behavior. How do you know?
I do that.
Uh, but no, seriously, I think a lot of it's personal choice. I think a lot of people like anarchy. I think they like chaos. When people get a chance to do things like this, um, I think more people often do not take the chance to do it, and that's why we see a lot of folks being the younger crowd. You know, whatever PTSD they can put on themselves or whatever, man, they out here. You see it all. This is all young people. You rarely see older people out here, and I, something needs to happen. I don't know if things are going in the favor of Trump or whoever because of all this, but something needs to happen where an understanding or peace is made. But like I've been saying since the beginning, this is when you have all these protests, but you have no leader, you have no goal, no nothing. It's just chaos.
Yeah, they're not. What are they asking for anything?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what's
has
the
anybody
goal?
asked for anything since all this started? You know what I'm saying? Since all this started, since America would start burning consistently, has there been any realistic demands?
Well, you see like when they get up and they're talking up on the stage or whatever, they're talking about defund and get rid of, abolish, and all stuff like that. That's so ludicrous. I don't even know why you would even.
I would always ask what does defund the police really mean? Okay, we know what it sounds like, but what does it really entail? What does they say? You know what I mean?
Well, it's actually happening now. New York defunded the police. So did Austin. And Chicago did.
And what was the other one where the black lady left? What city was that? The black chief or whatever. She's like, look, I'm done.
Yeah, that was. I don't remember.
Was that Portland?
I don't
want to say that.
I don't remember.
But anyway, it's what's the goal? Chaos and anarchy and all of these movements, these protests with no leader and no goal. When does it end? Can it even end? Or people just want to be upset? Is Seattle's LP okay?
Yeah. But see, on the flip side, you also have was it Mayor Lightfoot, Chicago? Was it Chicago? I don't remember. But she was like,
looting is not reparations. I spoke about this a couple days ago because I know that narrative was going around when I see my people getting on TV talking about looting is okay and burning stuff down is okay because of insurance. Well, that's not the case. If maybe these businesses have insurance, maybe they don't, right? But here's the thing:
insurance doesn't always cover it,
and maybe they underinsured, right?
Right.
And here's the thing: businesses being in your neighborhood brings taxes into your neighborhood. That's infrastructure. So if these businesses leave, that tax money leaves. So it's nice resources, right? And how insurance works is it's a reason when you file for insurance, when you get an app for insurance, it asks you what your zip code is. They want to know where you live at,
right?
So they can make that assessment because on
the premiums.
The premiums you pay what everybody else pays depending on the area. So all these folks is doing what they want to call reparations is really fucking it up, where it's making things are gonna be a lot more expensive for them in the end. That's why I'm telling folks, especially black folks, if you have agitators in your neighborhood, your community, make sure you remove these people because at the end, this what's happening, it will fuck you in the end because now things are a lot higher and more expensive, and you're removing resources and tax money from your community.
And people aren't going to want to move their businesses back there. They're going to change. You can see this in history over time. I mean, you can go look it up. Whenever there's riots, the economic collapse and the recovery takes many years, upwards of a decade. So it's just not
right. Easy, yeah. That's what I'm saying, and it's like that's why I want black folks when these things are happening in our communities. Let's not damage your area. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: we minorities, black folks, whatever who you want to call it, people in poor areas. We worry about gentrification, right? And all these protests are doing, and all these riots and looting, what it is driving down the value of your neighborhood. So rich folks, people who can afford it, they can just come in now because you can drove down the value. And all they can do, then what they go do is just buy it up and buy the owners who like, you know what, I no longer want to invest it here. Just buy them out, and next thing you know, now the rent go from literally $500, $600, $700, $800. Now it's $2,000. Because now you out here, and that's called displacement. It's such thing as cultural displacement. Here's the thing, and that's mental and psychological issues right there with cultural displacement. Now, you didn't live in the neighborhood for 10, 20, 30 years. And now everybody that you know is gone because they can't afford to be there no more or whatever. So it's way bigger than being angry in a moment. And I know that's hard to think like that. And when you in those moments, because everything that has happened, and it's like you got the world on your shoulders, and it's like you want some act right out of the country, out of the police or whatever. But it is economical stressors and things that's gonna happen behind your emotion. Um, and I know it's difficult to think about stuff like that in the moment, but and I know a lot of folks ain't even thinking along those levels, but that's just the honest truth. So agitators, people that when these situations, I need people to kick agitators out their communities because that's all they gonna do is fuck it up for you. They're making it more harder of a road than it already is because you already got issues. We already know the issues that comes in within the inner cities. So now you add displacement, gentrification, less resources. Kick all them agitators out your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? People that want to burn shit, loot everything, you got to remove them because they ain't gonna do nothing to make your life harder. They gonna go back to the suburbs, like Kyle. Kyle went right back to Antioch, Illinois.
I respond to somebody here.
I got you.
Heavy. It's all very heavy. So, in the end, where are we at? Where do we go from here?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know what this mutates to because at this point now, we can still. It's protests happening everywhere. I ain't gonna say everywhere, but for a lot of cities. You know what I'm saying? Now is pro gun people or self defense of property and all this. If these people gonna start shooting people, is that what it's gonna turn into? Is it gonna mutate into a race thing? And because that's a fear I've seen on Twitter from my folks, my side. It scares like now this go get licensed to police and white nationalists, white supremacists just start shooting black people, peaceful protesters. Is it gonna mutate into that? And I think the middle, no extreme left, no extreme right. I'm talking about the middle, the decent people. We have to make sure that it doesn't go that route. You know what I'm saying? Because we sit on the powder keg once again. You know what I'm saying? And I think folks just need to understand differences. When I say that, just because if David likes something I don't, that don't mean he my enemy. Now we need to protest and be on one side of on the side of each line. You know what I'm saying? People need to find a way to coexist, and that sounds cliche as hell, but you can coexist. You ain't got to vibe with something, but as long as you can respect differences and move on, cool. Then we won't have all this turmoil that's happening, man, because it can get worse. It can get a lot worse because at the point it's at right now.
Do you think if Biden gets elected, you think this calms down, or does it get worse?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, man. When we talk about political stuff and people at this point, it's a big ass circus what we're dealing with, and I think people are seriously emotionally charged. And
I feel like if Trump gets reelected, it gets way worse.
I think either way, people the other side is not for to be happy.
Well, yeah, for sure, but I just mean like chaos in the streets. I feel like
because you get the people like I'm gonna say hardcore Texans, I'm gonna say hardcore Republicans who say like if Trump don't get reelected or something, or like even if he got impeached, that it was gonna be problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That they got their revolver, they gun, blah 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 blah. And you see both of those on each side at this point. That mentality.
Yeah, because now this whole shooting thing it erupted the whole banning ARs again narrative. Like there was people coming out the woodworks talking about that.
Of course, and this is why I be thinking a lot of this stuff is staged, and I know this people didn't die. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't want to think like that because that's too crazy. But it's like this domino then fell too perfectly in the right spot at the right time. That's how I look at it.
I just don't understand how the left, and it's not even fair to say the whole left because it's not, but there are certain people are out here saying defund the police and all that, while also simultaneously saying get rid of guns. So then all you're left with is law-abiding citizens not having a way to protect their house at all from people that don't give a fuck about law, and they're going to bring in their own guns anyway. And who are you going to call? Like, what are you left with? Like, that's insanity.
And this is why my message, if y'all follow me on Twitter, my message has always been neighborhoods have to become communities. You know what I'm saying? It ain't enough to go to your safe space in the suburbs or wherever you live at and just live there. And you don't know nobody, it ain't a community. Neighborhoods go have to become a community at this point for if we continue on the path we going, are we gonna have police or anybody?
I don't talk to really none of my neighbors except for Dan the man.
See? And that's strange. I don't think people should live places where they don't know they block. But that's just the way I grew up.
Well, it seems weird because nobody's outside in the same way that it was like when we were growing up. So what am I gonna do knocking on doors? I just want to meet you. Hello.
For me, I do that because here's the thing, I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I got my 18, 15, 11, 5, and 1. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, I need to know who on this block is going to be around my children, or who my children will encounter.
Sure.
So that's me, especially with my girls, my little ones. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
How you doing? My name is Antoine. I stay right down here. What's your name? You know what I'm saying? I need to know. I need you to know that I see you, and yeah, it ain't for to be because it ain't nothing for to happen to my children. I'm like, man, I only know that guy over there. I don't know these people. Nah, I can't do that.
I do that, but in a different way. It's more like this. Like I'll go outside and I'm doing the yard or whatever, and I'm like,
no, I'm
not. You know what I mean?
I'm at. How you doing?
You're nice about it.
How you doing?
No. Do you ever ask to borrow sugar to break ice?
No. I just introduced that. Look, I stay right down here. Want to introduce myself. What's your name?
Well, now you don't have any neighbors. Now you know your neighbors.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you don't have to do that anymore.
No, I don't. But still, that was my reason, man. Just protection, and if anything was to happen, I know names. I know block. Nah, you know what? He right there. No, yeah. I know exactly what to either go handle the issue or send them people to go.
We need to try to transition out of this heavy shit we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to end it on the up and up.
I'm with it.
I have zero idea on what we should talk about that's more happy. Do you have any ideas on what could be happy that we could talk about?
We can transition to my land. Going for LP. So when David was in there, I bought 12.5 acres outside the city limits. Moved all my family in one area. Happy times. What's good with happy times? Family. Keep your family first. Protect your people.
Unless there's a march, and then you can put them second. Because for the Second Amendment.
This guy. He's just mad because his wife and mom won't let him know.
They said that makes me want to go really bad. I have a Trumper, is what I like to call them, like people that are super diehard Trump supporters, like no matter what, Trump's always in the right. He lives right next door to me. So I just talked to him before this podcast, and he did agree. Next week, he wants to do a podcast with us. I'm so excited. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. So y'all definitely tune in for next week. It's going to be great. And we keep putting off Cecil in his podcast. But now that we got our whole setup, we got to get that going ASAP. We might be able to do it on Friday. So there's a good chance we might be able to do this Friday. We'll try to do it at his place.
Mind you, with this neighbor, David has said.
Go ahead. You got to be, yeah, just leave it. Just leave it. Because he's going to be able to, leave it.
Yes.
They don't even know. All I'm going to say is this. Y'all thought Alan was entertaining? Get ready.
David wanted me to go knock on this man's door and ask him about firearms.
All right.
I'll be quiet.
You made it seem like I was trying to set you up. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. I just said.
Sound like a setup.
Oh, man.
It's kind of a setup. Think about it.
Not really, because I said so you could go check him out. I meant with me, not by your damn self.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's not a good idea. I wouldn't have let that happen at all because he's a scary person. So, sort of. Not really scary.
David ran
Scary enough.
Yelled for Dan.
That's true.
Save us, oh my God.
He would have came over there with a shovel, and, Dan's the man. He'll take care of you. Dan takes care of everybody. Dan the man. I would love to get him on the podcast. He'd be great, but he wouldn't do it, though. You haven't even met him yet. You'll love Dan. Babe, you have any happy topics for us? Zero input.
Appreciate that,
I
LP.
feel like being a man.
My wife's super excited about it. She's super excited about that Barn and Mini.
That thing is dope.
And I'm definitely gonna. I'm sure she watch it. Make it happen for real.
Do you think we could live stream if we are able to find 600 rounds of ammo? Think we'll be able to live stream that whole training session? You think he would care?
I don't think. Well,
I don't know if we could live
I think we need to give him a heads up.
or not necessarily live stream it, but like record it because we can't live stream out there because there's no service. But we could definitely.
Yeah, my son said he recorded for us. I wanted to get a bipod for my phone on my camera.
Will your phone last that long?
Yeah.
The battery?
Huh?
Because I wonder if people would y'all be interested in watching one of our training sessions? But we're professionally trained. I just don't know if that'd be fun for them to watch. Maybe it would be. I mean, I talk a lot of shit the whole time, so there's that. You're always laser focused and serious, and I just make fun of you a lot.
We out here training with live firearms.
And
Mind you, my wife is out shooting both of us, right?
She did not outshoot both of us. She outshot you.
She's out shooting both of us.
She outshot you.
She's out shooting both of us, right?
You are a damn
And
lie.
we sitting here, and of course David got jokes. I'm like, look, man, we trying to worry about hitting the target, learning to control this firearm.
I wasn't worried. I did it.
How to kill. David cracking jokes or whatever. I'm like, you know what? You just stay over there. I'm trying to focus. Can't get outdone with my wife there.
And you did. It's probably because you weren't joking around. You were too damn serious.
No,
And you were stiff.
no, she's a killer. That's all.
Well, yeah, but
That's just what it is. Both of you are murderers. I'm a good human.
okay, fair. But do you think would y'all like to watch that? Would that be entertaining? I don't know. I don't know if that would be a good. I guess we could always try to see what happens. We'll get 4 people to watch it. Me, you,
We're gonna make it.
my wife,
We're
and
gonna
your
make
wife.
it, and then we're gonna promote it, and they go watch it.
That's fair. So hopefully, got Tactical Carl coming up. We do have ODG, but that's we just haven't locked that down because of the timing. But we've been talking about that shit forever.
Mhm.
And then they got the neighbor. I got a bunch of people from my past that I wanted to bring on, but I just didn't know. It'd be weird for you. You don't know who the fuck they are, and so you just be like, "Cool, I'm here." I don't know if but
Mom gave me
what
you're right. Thumbs up.
for what? I didn't say anything. Probably because I was being funny. It's probably on my side about that. What do you think? No. All right. Well, I guess that's all we got today.
We ain't do too bad.
Not too bad. It's pretty heavy topics, but it's all that's going on right now,
The world is in a heavy place right now.
dude. Man. Anyway, all right. Thank y'all. See you next time.
Peace.
Ugh.